Hi, everyone. Can you even hear me? Gosh. Hi. Delay ads are at an important moment. I don't know. Don't tell me more buttons to push. Hi, everybody. I am so sorry today. On top of everything with court, obviously, I have now, a great view of my kitchen. I don't even know. Can I share? What's this? Is this the share button? Share screen. Okay, I can share screen. For whatever reason, StreamYard, and is that what I set my goal at? What is this goal? 10? I didn't need 10. I only wanted 5. Oh gosh. All right. I don't want 10. Hold on. That's too many. Hold on. Let me remove that. That's like out of control. Hold on. No, I want to remove it. Hold on. It was just 5. Hold on. I'm not paying attention. I apologize. It's been a heck of a day. And I guess Tim's out here praying to Jesus that I won't get live because I haven't seen Tim come out yet. Can you stop telling me stuff? Capture moments. I don't want to do that. I just want to do this. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. I don't know what's going on, guys. No, I just can't do anything. Hi. All right. I give up. I'm going to stop. Nothing is working. Oh, I shouldn't have removed it. Nothing works. Nothing works. Why isn't it working? Nothing works today. Nothing works. Okay. I need 5 super chats, $20 or more if you want to hear what Tim said to the judge today. I'm done. I'm done with the technology. I have spent, since I got home, trying to get StreamYard and YouTube to talk to one another. Oh, David! Thank you, David. I appreciate it. You're so awesome. And there is good news. There is good news. Thank you, David. Yes. Thank you. Well, I can't set up the little thing that said goal, and that's YouTube likes you to set up goals because that's why they put that stuff there. But I guess once you already go live, and there's no way I was going to ask for 10. I've just been obviously flustered because for whatever reason, StreamYard, and we'll get to the court case straight away. And thank you for your generosity. I can't even put this on the screen. See, I can't do any of the fun stuff that I do. I don't even know how to put this in on the channel because I'm not on my software. So I'm going to have a big chat with StreamYard today. So thank you, David. Yeah, it was good news. It was good news. So we'll just get into it. We're here for the court case. I can't even, let me just show a picture of Tim. So at least I'm sharing the screen with Tim. How about that? Let me share at least Tim. Let me see what this is like. Oh, I'm really small. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Thank you. I'm going to give hearts on here because I can't do much else. I can't even seem to do much else. So thank you, Thomas. He said, let's go. Yeah. I don't even have any control over anything. I'm so perplexed. So yes, this is Tim, obviously not driving to Virginia Beach today. And I was at court this morning, and obviously I was up pretty late, as we know, because the members last night, we did StreamYard, and we did great. And thank you, Miss Vicky. Thank you for the keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate it because we are going to be keeping on. And it was a great morning. Here's my file. I dare not touch anything to remove Tim. So we'll just keep him up there smiling. It's a recent video. Obviously, everything I do is fair use. This is not legal advice. Anything I give is just for entertainment and education purposes only, even though I am a registered nurse in the United States. Also, I do not treat or diagnose. Let me try to get all my fair use out, which seems to also perplex Tim enormously. So obviously, I got to the courthouse this morning. Luckily, this morning, the hearings that we had at 8:30, which is when I arrived, you can see I've got my big old folder here, and I've got my order from the judge too. Tim will be mailed his. Oh, it was something, guys. Oh, I'm going to try to remember everything because it got very exciting. This was a good one. This one gets juicy. So get your juice on, okay? Let me know if having me bigger would be better, but we'll keep Tim on there since he's the person. Tim's very upset. Tim will be very upset for me getting any money because that's part of what he complained about today. So I got there, a couple of other cases very quickly came up, generally just set for, continuances or other things. And so it didn't take long for me to get in front of the judge. And I will be absolutely honest. Oh, make sure to hit the thumbs up. I've only got 25 likes. And says there 130 some of you watching. So make sure to hit the likes because obviously we had the worst time with me trying to get this live stream out today. I don't think I posted it. So luckily I didn't put any type of anything. So and I don't know how great I'll be able to keep up with the chat. So I'm glad to see Angel of Glass is here. I think I saw Sammy come in. If I'm missing anybody, let me. Yeah, I did see you. Hey, good to see you, Sammy. Good to see you. So yeah, let me get to the case because I know that's why everyone's here. So I got to the courtroom and obviously I was super nervous. At one point, the judge was doing another case. I just, gave out this big sigh because I'm very nervous. It is something that I fully believe in my case. Like I said, I've worked very hard to get my case together in order to be in front of the judge this morning. And so anyway, as it turned out, obviously Tim was not there, as we knew he would not be, but he has been communicating with the court via, I think, some letters sent, potentially. None of them are properly, obviously, filed or with forms or anything. I think he's also been emailing quite a lot to the clerks because the judge admonished him a little bit for that one today. So anyway, the judge heard me give this big sigh and he's like, asked me if I was someone. I was like, no. Anyway, so finally we get to our case. I come up and the judge recognizes me from the non-suit the week before. Now, this time he does say that Tim sent something in. I said, well, if he signed it Sarasota Tim, which is what he did on my consolidation letter, the second letter, I said, that would just be hearsay. And he said, well, no, this one was signed and notarized. And he said, well, we're going to give him a call, and we will take this letter as an appearance in court today. So he calls Tim, and Tim picks up the phone. And my goodness. I wish we could have recordings. Hit those likes coming on in, guys, so everyone knows we're here. Hit Ray. Your case was not based on malice. It's just based on facts. Yeah, there's no malice involved. Oh, it gets great. There's no malice. No, it's a malicious because of the way that Tim used the copyright system. Now, I have something coming, and I'm not going to discuss it because it's become a different matter. So I'm not going to talk about anything to do with any other the creators or anything else I might have going on because that's a whole different another matter. We're just going to talk about Tim today. And so the judge calls and Tim answers straight away. Yay, Carol! Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Carol. So appreciated. Thank you. I know I would give a year's pay to hear all that. Oh my goodness. If you could have heard Tim and his narcissism, I was sitting there and I literally, my eyes, started rolling at some of the stuff that Tim started telling the judge. So Tim picks up the phone. I'm trying to remember everything because he spoke for quite some time. And he just wanted, he showed no respect for the judge. He was just bombarding the conversation, not really even letting the judge get in word in edgewise. And his whole thing right from the start, I'm trying to remember because the judge, said that obviously he had received his letter and this, that, and the other. And Tim just automatically went into this spiel that the case should be dismissed, that this needs to be in federal court, that this is, I have no jurisdiction to bring Tim to Virginia. And this is not what the case is about. I need to clarify this all the time, that as much as you want to hear from other creators talking about fair use and other people, it may have started with me using Tim's content in a fair use purpose. Like, if we have time, we'll take a look at the one where he slags off the medical profession again. Reason why I make commentary, because he's extremely dangerous and he actually thinks that he's better and smarter than everybody around him. Absolute Dunning-Kruger effect. So the judge tries to explain, because, Tim tries to complain that he was unaware of the hearing today, that he was not correctly served, that he was not, receiving his service as he needed. And the judge said, well, you responded with a letter, so I'm assuming that you understood you needed to be in court. And then Tim wanted to talk about it being late service. And then the judge corrected him and said, well, no, you were served through the Secretary of the Commonwealth. And so you have been made aware. And so we will take your letter as an appearance in court today. So Tim was already trying to sort of, bamboozle, I guess is the word, the judge, and sort of say, no, this should be a federal case. And so basically, the judge kind of put it out of Tim's mind that no, Tim is aware he needs to be in court. Tim responded. Tim was, notified. He could see with looking at the dates on any of my paperwork in plenty of time. And this is going to be an important point. Just remember it. And if I don't forget, but it's an important point for later on, for something that the judge then said to make sure that I do with my paperwork, because of how he perceived Tim's behaviors and interactions with me and the court. So he then proceeded. So once they sort of clarified that, yes, Tim had been notified, and now Tim was officially being made aware that he was making an appearance in front of the judge. And so they were taking that in the phone call. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up. Rave's the paperwork queen. Yes. I am the paperwork queen. So he could see that all of that was, so any of those arguments that Tim wanted to make, they became null and void. And that's what I've always said, as long as I'm following up. So Tim then tried to say, obviously, then it was like the reason why Tim was not in court, and he kept repeating it, was, oh girl, you should have heard the pity in Tim's voice. I'm 67 years old. Oh, he's going to be so upset, because he's upset that I'm making content about him, obviously. And that you guys donate money, that irritates him even more. I'll tell you about that. So he starts telling the judge, I'm 67 years old. I am retired. I live on Social Security in an RV. I have bad eyesight. He talked about having bad hearing. Oh, woe is me. This is a person who the day before, if you a member of the community and got the pre-court Get Ready With Me, you can watch that. You could see that Tim was pushing a motorbike up a ramp. So, hey, ready to go, David, you're my number one fan. So obviously he was just really trying to push out this, I'm just on Social Security. Yeah, to irritate Tim. Yes. Oh, because he got very upset. I'll tell you about that part too, where he complains about my monetized YouTube channel. So he was just like, oh, woe is me, just really, really basically said. And then he just started to, the judge just kind of looked at me, and the way that the judge looked at me, because I'm standing there, and obviously you can see probably my eyes, I'm so sick of, Tim sometime and the way he does stuff, luckily he didn't bring out Jesus, but I think the judge, is an experienced man in the law and dealing with individuals. So he could tell that I think that, that Tim was just trying to, say some stuff, because Tim was like, no, she doesn't have jurisdiction. This should be a federal case. And the difficulty is that, the judge explained to Tim that he's not going to give him any legal advice as to what to do. That's not his role. But he looked at, obviously, the warrants that I had sworn out, the warrant, I should say, because Tim was trying to go back to the other case from last week. And the judge had to explain to him that was taken as a non-suit. Hey, Z-Call, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. It's very irritating for Tim. And my other haters in the community. So I appreciate it. Because they don't think YouTube wants me to have a monetized channel. I promise you, you're making the gods of YouTube happy. Hopefully we can make the gods of StreamYard happy so the two of them can talk together again. And I can do higher quality live streams than what I can get from YouTube. Because when I set this up, I don't even know what camera I set it. I don't know if I'm at 720 or 1040 today. I don't want to mess with anything. So Tim was just like, you could tell the judge was just not, because Tim obviously is on the phone. And you could just tell that the judge felt that Tim was laying on all the excuses a little bit too thick, I think is the expression. And that you could kind of see my face. And the judge kept telling me, giving me don't, all the time, I've got this. Don't worry about it. I've got this. And he even let Tim know at one point that I had the advantage because I was the one making the personal appearance in court today. So Kim kept trying to talk about, obviously, this case should be a federal case. This is a fair use copyright issue. That would be the case. I've always said, if Tim wanted to take me to court, to federal court, that's his case. That's not what I'm fighting for here. I've won all my fair use with the system as far as YouTube is concerned. Because when I counter notified and hired an attorney, then I obviously satisfied for the fair use. I know some people don't say I do, but there are plenty of other content creators who use whole entire videos and nobody would say two things about it in the creator's faith. Oh my gosh, it just got into my mouth. That was weird. Anyway, sorry, I got a weird hair that got in. So he was then trying to, because he's kind of working his way into basically telling Tim that, because Tim's trying to basically say to the judge, no, this needs to be a federal case. And then the judge is looking at obviously the codes that I have included, which are Virginia statute codes, which is what the judge told Tim that no, this case, and it's obviously codes that particular judge can award a monetary damage for. Now, whether he's the same judge when we go back to court, when we do, there you go, then that's, to be seen. But this judge today, this morning, I don't know if I should say his name or not. I do remember his name. A very kind guy, looks like a friend of mine. He was he kept trying to slow me down because I guess I just looked oh my gosh, Tim, you. And he's just because that's one of the things you've got to learn is how to have that stoic face and just let the judge handle it, especially if you've got a defendant trying to bury themselves the way that Tim was, because Tim was basically trying to bring cases that if he wanted to try me in court for those cases, that's fine. Go ahead, Tim, you do you. But as far as my particular case is concerned, it has nothing to do with any of the things that Tim was talking about. He is so unaware, and he will be made aware soon. Because we will be having to send the bill of particulars to him. So Tim just kept arguing, I'm this, elderly person. So the judge finally looked at the warrant. He finally said to Tim, after Tim tried to, keeps trying to say all this stuff about, jurisdiction and this, that, and the other, that the case is going to trial and that Tim needed to confirm the date roughly either in June, July, August. He needed to be, when is he coming to court? Tim had to tell the judge. The judge says, we know you're in Florida. We know you need to have time to prepare. So I'm willing to give you until August. Which of these months do you want to come and to trial? And Tim, of course, is like, trying again. This should be a federal thing. The judge already, was like, no, like that's. And Tim again was trying to say, I'm 67. I don't have money. He was wanting to tell people, this is going to be a financial burden for me. The man, he blows hundreds of dollars on wood and ramps and motorbikes and this, that, and the other. Oh, it's going to be a financial burden. Don't you understand? I'm just a senior. And then he wanted to talk about, and the judge finally said about how he wanted, that Tim had to set a date. That, was there a day that, a child crushing it. That's right. That Tim had to set a date. And that, like, Tim wasn't doing it. So he finally said, well, I'm going to ask the plaintiff if she has a preference of the days of the week. So the court date has been set. So we are going to trial on the 13th of August. So my birthday month. So I don't know if this is what Jesus wanted or not, Tim. Because he didn't certainly want you trying to bamboozle the judge this morning. And we're going to be, it's going to be again in my favorite courtroom. Hopefully I won't be as nervous because I'm kind of getting a little bit more used to standing in front of a judge. Even though I'm the plaintiff, obviously I know the burden of really producing the evidence is on me. So we got, I'll show you this because I got all my stuff. I don't want to separate everything because I've kind of pulled some of my papers apart. I got to keep everything together. So this is going to be sent to Tim. Also, I was there to actually sign it for the judge. So, and then Tim obviously was made aware that I was able to be physically making an appearance in front of the judge. And obviously, this is, going into court. But the judge kept trying to tell me I wasn't trying to say anything. I guess just my face was saying it all. But his face was also saying, what is this guy trying to do? Why is this man trying to keep telling me he's on Social Security? He's 67 years old. Oh, he told him he lives in an RV. So we know why he's not made any videos today. Yes. Timbo once said he might visit. Well, I don't know. Can I show these on the thing? I can't. It says pin message. Is that? No, that's just a pin of the message. Oh, okay. Sorry. It doesn't let me do the same fun stuff as I can do on StreamYard. So I apologize. Call the wambulance, Tim. Okay. So he was really wambulancing because he did not want to give the judge a month. Like, he just wouldn't say anything. He just he talks about constant travel. Did not want to make a good job. Yeah. Didn't want to make a job about that. And the thing is, this case is about Tim using YouTube's copy. Well, he'll find out when he reads the bill of particulars, which I need to send to him now. Which I have up to 3 weeks. So basically he has an order that we have been given by the judge, and Tim's address was confirmed because Tim did not pick up one of the certified mail I had sent to him. Supposedly it was delivered to him. The Postal Service is pretty good about making sure they stick those generally where they're supposed to be, and it was to his new address, and it is being returned to me. So Tim is choosing not to pick up his mail. And the judge actually, said to me, when I send my bill of particulars to Tim, and I'll make sure I also sent it through the Secretary of the Commonwealth, just to make sure that it gets processed through them as well. And I'll then send it myself, because I'll have time to do that. that he, I hope he gets his mail, because I'll send it to him certified, and then I'll send it to the Secretary of the Commonwealth, because that was very important for the long arm statute. Though Tim seems to think that Virginia doesn't have any jurisdiction over him. But when the judge looked at the codes that I used, then he did. And then he mentioned another code to Tim as to why he needed to be in court. I can't remember. It was a lot. I wrote some stuff down, but I don't think I wrote everything down. So yeah, I, as the plaintiff, I've been ordered to file a bill of particulars in the court. I already had my bill of particulars ready this morning to go to get to a chance to default judgment. But I kind of had a feeling, I talked about this in the members only last night. Like I said, this is not legal advice, okay? My personal experience as a pro se litigant. I just want to always say that. I'm not giving any legal advice out here to anybody, okay? Make sure to hit the likes. 85 likes, 223 watching. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. My puppies appreciate it. They're working on their snacks. So we really do appreciate the support. So the plaintiff is hereby ordered to file a bill of particulars in the court and to mail a copy to each of the defendants or the attorney for the defendant on or before the deadline date set forth below. So I have 3 weeks. I have until May 8th. And like I said, I just want to make sure that I have everything I needed. There were a couple of pieces I wanted to add to it. So this gives me the time to do so. And I'll just go up to the courthouse and get that filed to make sure it gets seen, because that's very important. A bill of particulars is a written statement setting forth the facts of the case and all the reasons why the court should find in favor of the plaintiff. And I actually have my bill of particulars. There's not really much you can see on mine, just because it's it doesn't really say anything about my case. So I can show you that, because I have a bunch of attachments, obviously. So this was my bill of particulars. I already had it ready to go, proper on the form. So I have this, and it has a special part on the bottom where it says I certify that I have sent this as well. So it has that affidavit of service on the bottom of the bill of particulars. And then it explains clearly how Tim was being malicious, I guess, with his use of copyright strikes, because as much as he believes they're fair use, that's fine. Go to court, Tim, with me about that. But that's not what this case is about. It's about the fact that you did it without seeking any legal recourse. So you were using it, and let me say, I have reason to understand that was his intention. And that's all I can say. He's going to find it all out soon, because he's going to receive a copy of this. He's going to have it all laid out, because he needs to, because Tim is going to have to come with his grounds for defense. Anyway, let me get back to that. So that's why this case is not about the fair use. It's about how Tim weaponized the copyright system to try to get rid of channels that he does not like criticizing him. That's really what this case is about, and that he conspired with another person in order to do so. And there are very specific codes, and they're very specific business torts. I've talked about it. There's a video I've done if you're new to the case that explains, because as much as you may not like it, all the things that he's now complaining about in front of the judge are the things he then should have followed up if he wanted to stop me from making commentary and not using his that is Tim's case to take to court. It's not Tim's case now to try to hijack the case that I'm in currently with him to do it otherwise, because now he looks like he's tit for tatting, and he's trying to get all sorts of protective orders and all sorts of other things in place, not following through with any proper procedures at all. A man who has deleted people's comments, who has talked about everybody on this platform being a hater, who, I know I take criticism, but some of the things, there's a difference between me calling Tim out for giving bad medical advice there's a difference between just being a cesspool, and I'm just saying that, and people know who they are. Anyway, because that's not advancing knowledge. That's just being, misogynistic. Anyway, a bill of particulars is a written statement setting forth the facts of the case and all the reasons why the court should find in favor of the plaintiff. Life and vibe. The plaintiff should include a statement of how the plaintiff calculated the dollar amount named in the case. So I have that, and I need to probably add a little bit more to that calculation page, actually. And then for your convenience, the bill of particulars may be prepared on the attached forms. And so he showed that's not dissimilar, but obviously I have one that's a little bit, already done with the certified. I have a different one, but anyway, he gave me that. And then to Tim, and Tim's going to get this through the mail, and the judge definitely wanted to make sure the defendants are hereby ordered. So Tim has a court order to file a grounds of defense. And I wonder how he's going to be figuring that with AI. So he needs to make sure that he doesn't refuse my mail, or that he picks up his mail and that his mailing address is correct, because he's going to need to see my bill of particulars, because by the 29th of May, he needs to have submitted to the courts in Virginia his grounds of defense. And that is a response to my bill of particulars. So Tim has about a couple of weeks to get that together. And I don't know if AI is going to be the answer to that. And then he will be able to see all of the evidence that I've been able to collect from his shenanigans on YouTube over the last couple of years. Which, he is now trying to say, I'm the shenanigan. I'm the one that Tim needs a protective order. We'll get to that. So it says here, the defendants are hereby ordered to file a grounds of defense in the court and to mail each copy to the plaintiff. So I get an opportunity. And obviously, because it becomes part of the legal document, that's not something I'm going to share with everybody, like his letters, because his letters weren't properly filed. So I didn't have a problem. He had a problem that I share them and get money for it. Oh, wow. I have to pay in case I need an attorney, Tim, to go with me on the 13th of August. I might decide that day I hire someone to come and help me in front of the judge to explain the case. I've done most of the work. So it's really just to make sure that the, court procedures are being followed correctly. So, I mean, that's possible. That's something I'm considering. I have, haven't seen him for a while. Hey, darling. Yeah, hi. I just want to make sure. Hi, Ridge Runner. Hi, everybody. Madeline. Hey, Love Them Flowers. Hey, everybody. What do you mean? Hey, I want to make sure I say hi too. I'm so sorry. I'm not on StreamYard. I gotta email StreamYard too. Lord of my life. All right. A grounds of defense is a written statement setting forth the facts of the case and all the reasons why the court should find in favor of the defendants. And Tim is not going to be able to use his he can use whatever that he wants to say, but I don't think that's going to be a good grounds of defense in this particular case. That's not going to be a grounds of defense. All the things that he tried to say. I'm not going to give him any legal advice. Oh, well done, Thomas. You're number 2 fan. Okay. I'm not going to give him. Neither's the judge. None of us. And the clerks, you're not to email the clerks anymore, Tim. Only phone calls. The judge told you today. Stop emailing the clerks. They're not your attorneys. They're not to give you legal advice, Tim. You're going to have to actually spring for it, mate. Or you're going to be really having a fun time in the courtroom. Because I have all my stuff legally prepared, Tim. And that was the gold standard that made sure this thing went to trial. Because you couldn't say you weren't properly served. And you tried to say that the warrant previously was about fair use. No, it was not, sir. It was about recuperating the money I had to spend on a cease and desist that explained to you my content was under fair use. That's what that cease and desist explains to you, Tim. Maybe you should read it. Maybe you should read the fact that my attorney has asked you not to make content around medical stuff like this video, which we'll do a quick react before we end this the live today as a bonus react to see me get real irritated. Okay, so I'm wondering how AI is going to handle this one. A grounds of defense is a written statement. Okay, we talked about that. If the defendants believe that part but not all of the plaintiff's claimed is owed, the defendant should explain the reason and state how much of the claim the defendant agrees with. For your convenience, the grounds of defense may be prepared on the attached form. Well, I wasn't given that form because I'm not having to write a grounds of defense. So Tim is being sent that form. So obviously, I'm going to try to fix this bill of particulars and get it sent to him. I need to have it to him by the May 8th. So I'll probably get it. Like I said, I'm going to get it up to the courthouse probably Tuesday, and then I'll get it sent over to Tim so he can get. I'll give him a little bit of time. I'll give him a month to prepare his grounds of defense to send to me. But it's not. He's going to have to read it and understand because it's got to make sense to the case. Because at the moment, the stuff he's talking about is nothing that. Tim is trying to he's trying to literally make a case come in that isn't the case that's in front of even the judge. And the judge is was trying to explain to Tim that what he wants to do, that's fine. If he wants to go and file all this and do all this stuff in federal court, he's more than welcome to do so. But the cases he saw it in the statutes that I had, this was, and I think even hearing the way Tim was responding to the judge probably gave a good understanding as to why I had those codes written. And that now, Tim is trying to say that he's the one who needs a protective order to stop me from making reaction commentary around Tim. Tim, the unlicensed person on the internet who loves to tell everybody else about not going to see their doctors, how doctors are just a-holes, how, he's just got all the answers. Everybody is trying to sucker money out of somebody but Tim. Tim's scared of every sucker. Why? Because Tim knows he tries to find suckers all the time. So Tim assumes that to somebody else, he's going to be the sucker. And he didn't want to be the sucker to the judge today. Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell that part. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're getting to that part. So, if mailed, the bill of particulars and grounds of defense should be mailed in time to arrive at the court on or before the deadline. So Tim needs to make sure that he gets his into the court. And he doesn't want an email. And the judge was trying to explain to Tim, yay, for 3 months. Take notice others who bully and harass people. Exactly. Thank you, Real Melvis Melvis. And I really don't want to be a bully or harasser. And Tim has complained about that. So Tim, suddenly then there was another poll that he had obtained. So the judge set the date for the hearing. So mark it in your calendars, everybody. And fortunately for me, it's just after my birthday, and I'm off usually Thursdays, so I don't even have to take PTO. Woo! Score for the working prison job people over here. There's a prison job score, Tim. So Tim is, and then the trial, all of it. This is a court order, Tim. You can't ignore this now, okay? As much as the warrant wanted to be ignored and everything else, so Tim has, and I have, obviously I've got a good case, okay? And Tim will be discovering that because he should try to think back to some of the things that he put out publicly about people. You do not own YouTube, sir. And you certainly, own talking about health content and talking about people's original content. This is my original content. Me commentating on you is my original content. How about that? And I'm obviously starting to comment on other people like Mikey, who's got more depressing videos out. Anyway, Tim then had another extra layer that he wanted to add in, which was this protective order to stop me from making any content or commentary, because he complained to the judge that he is a YouTuber. Yay! Thank you, Dirty Jersey. He did. He got slapped. He did. He got slapped by the judge. Oh, he did not want to say what month. He was never going to say what month he could travel. He could not believe that a judge was going to make him show up to court. And he was trying to figure out from the judge, yay! Melvis sent 10 life and 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for that generosity. Mark Thomas got one. Pooner got one. Hunter, LaVentra, Tanya, Nicole, Mitchell, Nashville, Inferno Warrior. I don't know how we didn't get poor Ann. Oh, that's awesome. That's so generous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Real Melvis. That's awesome. Oh, Timmy feeling bad because Timmy complained that I had a $3.99 paywall for my memberships to see the letter he sent me. The one with the Sarasota Tim emoji on it. And I would share the letter now were I able to do so. But StreamYard is not my friend today. But you could go back. One of the videos I have privated now. It doesn't need to be seen. It's all in the updated video. You can see the entire 2 letters, I think. I might have included both letters that Tim sent to me. One, because Tim had to be explained that motion to dismiss was no longer valid. That was part of a non-suit. Tim is learning what legal strategy looks like from people. Especially when you've been the horrible, harassing bully on YouTube that you have been to commentator channels, to people that simply left a comment saying, hey, looks like you might kill yourself doing that. Or, hey, this is the way I find really useful. I do it my way. And then Bubba, you must be new here underneath. So yeah, Tim complained about my having paid things behind paywall. That's why I wanted to set up that goal, because it was kind of to irritate Tim. Because that's why it's so sad when I set it up wrong in a hurry. Because Tim was so irritated that I have a monetized YouTube channel that criticizes this person's, and we'll listen to this in a minute. And it's an 8-day-old video, but I hadn't had a chance to react to it because I've been busy trying to get ready for the court case. And like I said, my bill of particulars is ready to go. I just got some extra papers and some things that I want to add on to the calculations page just to make it a little bit more explanatory. And that's it. Bob's your uncle. We get that thing up to the courthouse. And then Tim has got to, his ground of defense cannot be off topic. It's got to be a response to what I'm proposing. So he can't go off into, I'm not giving him any legal advice. But he did not impress the judge. So he started complaining. He wanted a protective order. This person criticizes him. He's a YouTuber. She just started going off, man, at the judge. Just, how this should be in federal. I mean, just went off. And the judge literally had to cut Tim off. He literally had to cut him off and say to him that, because Tim was like, what's this motion to dismiss or motion for a web hearing? And I tried to explain to the judge that I have subpoenaed him for communications that he shared in emails. And therefore, I, do need him to provide those to me. And that would be a reason for him to come to court. So he needs to, that's all stuff. And he can't just email it to the clerks anymore. Like, he now has officially appeared in court. He has now appeared in court. And he now has an order from the courts here in Virginia Beach. This isn't something that he can, pray about or ask, Jesus for favors or, just bother Fred. This is something that he's really going to have to seriously address because of all the time that I have asked him to stop just copyright striking. If he hadn't probably copyright struck my channel, I probably would have stopped even making commentary as frequently on him. And it's been here with this case, because of the fact that it ended up becoming this. And I had to kind of move it to a court case because YouTube, unfortunately, was allowing him despite, I think I counted 10 videos in the end of the day that he requested, that I've been, counter notifying. Finally, like I said, the last counter notification I sent to YouTube about fair use, because a lot of times yay, Dr. Classy Badassy said 10 Life and 5 memberships. Yes, React's got one. Hillbilly Belinda, Magenta Brown. Oh my God, I can't even say that one. Doug Force, Randy Scott. This must come from my foodie days. Susie, Christine Cooper, Babes Bunny, and yep, it's me, Mrs. JMC. A lot of these folks might have actually caught, and we'll have to do a react on that one, guys, because Zachary Michael did a react on Tim's legal situation. But it always it seemed like potentially they don't really understand, because they also were an individual that Tim tried to weaponize the copyright system to strike them. And they were getting some shenanigans happening as well. At least they forget. And Tim was still striking channels left, right, and center without ever doing any follow-up. And I know people might say, oh, Ray, you're in a situation. You don't know everything in the background on that. And that's all I'm going to say. So it's not, if you think it's me and you're thinking of somebody else in the background who's complained, yeah, well, you're in a specific situation, sir. And I can't say any more on that one. But that's not done. And I'm probably not going to be able to talk about that one because that's definitely of a different nature. People who know me on the platform personally know what's going on, and that's all I'm going to say, but I am responding. Yeah, welcome to the good life. Yeah, thank you. So that's all I want to say about that, because I know I get a lot of trolls too, and that's fine. I don't mind constructive criticism. If I'm a terrible nurse, fine. But criticizing other creators because they have monetized platforms and streaming and creating a community and giving good, fun content is what we do here. Tim is not even doesn't even really want to use YouTube. I think YouTube is kind of tired of those creators, to be honest, because they know a lot of people use YouTube as a hub to bring and drive a lot of other business to their brands, if you may, away from YouTube getting a cut. So if it's a course or an affiliate link, not one that they share on the channels, because that's probably, YouTube is probably okay with something with Amazon. They probably have a deal there. But as long as you've used that product in your video, Tim just dropping links and not having a product that he's linking it to, I don't think is what YouTube wants you to do. Because that's not what YouTube wants you to do. So I know, but I always get a lot of criticism, but I hope you guys get a lot of entertainment too. Tim is using YouTube. This is from Mark. Tim is using YouTube because he has to, because he took Social Security way too early to manage the lifestyle he wants. So it's either full-time at YouTube or Home Depot for Timmy Boy. Yes. And I do YouTube. I love it. Obviously I made no money, obviously, from YouTube. Everything I did in my business last year was a loss. I lost money last year from my channel. I lost almost $2,000 between the courts, the legal services I had to do to protect my channel. And I'm a monetized YouTube channel. Why should I allow somebody to try to take my channel away? Because I don't, because what I do on the platform is I try to find different creators. And Tim, I'd like to not focus on you all the time, sir. who give out really misleading medical information. And that's really what I try, or anything that I feel is going to mislead people within our age group. And you, sir, are full of it. And so that's kind of what I look. There's been lots of interesting things on the news and stuff. And so I'm hoping as the community grows and expands that we talk about a diversity of topics and talk about it. And my goal has always been, and using a influencer or another creator on the platform as the catalyst for the conversation, and not always having it from a celebrity or somebody, but somebody who is here, who is trying to, there's so many people that, financially benefit. Do I financially benefit? Absolutely. But I also hope to use, obviously, my expertise and to entertain at the same time. Oh, Lord. Okay, people say I'm boring. I know why. All right. Okay. Do we have any big questions about today? So Tim complained. Oh, gets back to the protective order. So Tim wanted this protective order taken out on me not making content around Tim, and complained about the $3.99 memberships. And thank you for all the people who bought memberships. That's really irritating to Tim. Hates the members only. Where I had the letters behind the members only and all this stuff. Absolutely hated it. Me doing all the streamy stuff, they hate it. Anyway, and the judge was just like, this is not, he didn't have to explain to Tim that the protective order that Tim was requesting was not one that he could issue, that his court was one that issued monetary damages and Freedom of Information Acts, and that the things that Tim was asking for were not going to be applicable in his court. So he just dismissed and denied all that. He just denied it. He just denied whatever Tim was requesting in his email. The judge pretty much denied. He said if Tim wants a telephonic call, that's going to be up to him, but he needs to do things now that he's got court orders and stuff, that all the shenanigans, now that he's made an appearance, are not going to be accepted. Like, Tim now has to play by court rules, especially after he tried to, bulldoze the judge like 20 times today. Just complaining, man. Oh my God. Oh, Miss Blair has had her channel and she's been targeting me. Oh my gosh. Just the complaints. Just, all of this, trying to say I'm the mean one. And just, oh my goodness. If you wanted to hear Tim just complain and moan to the judge and say how he's so unfairly treated, everybody's horrible to him, then that's what you would have heard him say to the judge. And I don't think the judge was impressed. And I think the judge could see me just like rolling my eyes. Just like, because he's probably, I think, thank you, Bernie the Expo. Everyone, have a good time. Junebug and Roscoe need biscuits. See you later. Well, thank you, Bernie. Have a good time too. It's a beautiful Friday. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to try to have a good time. I don't know if Tim is having such a good time today. I feel like I've kind of got through a big thing between having found Junebug's new vet, and kind of got her out of a corporate vet office, having filed my taxes, having, a couple of tries in front of the judge now, having, heard Tim try to, whine his way out of everything, and not really understand even why he's in court. And the judge just like, and then Tim just, I'm in Florida. And Tim was obviously, trying to write down what's all this stuff I need to send so I can, try to dismiss this case. And the judge is like, you got to send in your grounds of defense. You got a trial hearing. It's like, you've been ordered by the court for trial now. Like, all the motion to all that's, that may be in your grounds of defense, sir, but, pretty much you're in court. That's kind of where we're at. All of his, and he was, at best, potentially he could request to be by phone, but he basically was told he needs to be in Virginia on August the 13th. And the judge wasn't going to tell him anymore, except stop emailing the clerk. So God knows how much he's trying to blow the clerk up for stuff. So he's basically trying to get free legal advice from people who cannot give legal advice. He was the maker of the situation. He decided to take it upon himself to strike channels and not actually think of the consequence if a channel like mine decided to turn around and counter notify him. And then decided, because he's not actually then taking me to the federal level, which was the next step that he should have taken with me, not me. Okay. Him. That was his thing to do next. He didn't do it. So I ended up having to hire an attorney to say, hey, unless you're going to actually do something about this at this point is just, weaponizing a system in order to silence somebody you don't like what they're saying. That you're not actually fighting for your copyright. And so it just kept that. I kept sending a cease and desist. Please stop striking my channel, sir, because YouTube, useless, And so being a smaller channel too, it's going to be that you're just going to keep getting, especially commentary, nightmare. And until you get to a size like Zachary Michael or Moist Critical or one of the larger commentary channels, they'll leave you alone. They'll kick that away and say, oh, this person's trying to say, they're coming after you for copyright. Zachary Michael played in an entirety one of Tim's videos the other day. It will never get struck for copyright by YouTube. And probably would kick back if Tim tried to do it. So he kept striking, and I kept having to respond, which I did, because he never did any action about it. And at that point, after 10 times, I was like, this has got to stop, because he's never going to stop. And he's never really going to take me to court, and he needs to take me to court. This is how it goes when you're adults. You don't just get to be doing what you want. Especially when you're putting out terrible medical misinformation. And that's something I really do feel strongly about. So, yeah. And so that request for the protective order was denied by the judge. Yeah, that's where we're at. So I feel like I watch YouTubers who make fun of present administration, use videos to comment on. They don't get in trouble. I prefer to watch it that way. Yeah, I think a lot of people like to watch stuff through reaction channels or through commentary channels. And obviously, because my focus is health, I try to stay with people that want to talk about health on the internet and don't have the licensure to do so. And that's kind of where I was with Tim. And he has decided that it's just that he's the king of YouTube. He is not to be criticized. I get criticized, I promise you. One thing is criticism. And I get plenty of it. And next is when you get real creepy and start making people feel uncomfortable. That's a whole different thing. I have never once said that I want to meet Sarasota Tim in person. I heard him on the phone today. I don't think he heard me very much. I didn't really talk. Heard a lot of Tim talking, though. Gosh, he really tried to bamboozle that judge. My goodness. He really tried to railroad, bamboozle, bulldoze, whatever term you want to use, that poor judge. Judge, you see what the Tim couldn't see, which I could see, like I said, was the judge's face. Not impressed, Tim. Judge was not impressed. Not impressed you wouldn't say what month. Not impressed that you didn't seem to understand you need to come to trial. Not impressed. So if it happens to be the judge coming up, you haven't set a very good tone, sir. Thankfully. And he kept saying it, like giving me don't worry. Miss Vicky, I'm a bully. I'm just as bad as Tim. That's the comment you received the other day. calling out Tim for, you know, his that it's a thing that no, you're not, Miss Vicky. You're the nicest person on the internet. Don't even listen to them. I could be saying, you know, people could say more about me being a ratcheted old nurse or whatever. That's fine. That's fine. That's what I am. We're going to show it anyway. I let you through, Jug. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The judge. Absolutely. I mean, he knew Bradenton, Florida, too. He was familiar with the area. So he was like, because Tim was like, oh, I'm an old man. I just can't make it up there. All right, Tim, let's hear what you say about medical professionals from about 8 days ago. Because this is when Tim was feeling himself before he had to go with the judge and get his protective order from this mean woman denied. Because how dare I make commentary on the internet about Sarasota Tim? I guess he's going to have to miss a little bit of time with his. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get his telephone call. Whatever it is, we're going to trial. And Timmy needs to have a grounds of defense. And whatever he was talking about today was not obviously probably the judge knows that's not the case that we're going into. And Tim sounded petty. I don't know if that's a word. Petty, complaining about my $3.99 YouTube memberships. I just stood there. Oh, Tim complaining. This woman. Oh, he wanted to criticize me. Dr. Classy Bad Ray, what was the judge's facial expression? Eye rolling. Yeah, definitely kind of. Well, he was kind of giving me the like, just don't worry about it. I've got it handled, you know, very confident. And just kind of like, I felt frustrated. He looked frustrated that when he finally told Tim that it was going to trial and that he was going to have to select a date, and Tim was just pushing back with not being able to travel, being on Social Security, being too poor. This was going to financially disadvantage him. All of these things, you know, that the judge just then he picked the date then in August. He said, okay, we'll just go for August. And he picked a date. And he pretty much looked at me and gave some dates. And I just said, okay, which one is for, Tim's going to start. Tim's going to start filming himself in a wheelchair and a neck brace. Well, supposedly he has bad hearing. Have you ever heard of Tim complaining about his bad hearing? Can't drive, can't walk. He's old. He's decrepit. He tried to say Zachary's channel was shut down. Yeah, he did. Yeah, YouTube shut him down on that. And so he's very upset. And like I said, if he wanted to go all the things that he told the judge today, that's what he has to go to court. Keep saying, that's the case that Tim has to take to court. That's not my court case. So anyone talking about all this fair use and blah, 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 that's Tim's court case, okay? I fought my fair use with counter notifications, submitted to YouTube. YouTube accepted them. All of my content was restored. End of story. Difficulty is that Tim would not stop doing it. And obviously over time, it does take my videos down for a certain amount of time as it goes through that stupid counter notification process. So I do lose money and revenue on my content. And whether I'm making commentary about you, Tim, oh well. I promise you, if you stopped striking my channel, I probably would have not been making as much commentary. But you also say some absolutely wild stuff like in this video. Let's get it going. Take it away, Timmy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarah, I'm all pumped up today on Thursday, April 9. I've got birthdays coming up for two of my children very soon. I've got engagements coming up, fun coming up, travel coming up, assemblies and videos of e-bikes coming up.
Well, we know he's got travel coming up now. Not the travel he planned, though. He's never planning on coming to the city of Virginia Beach. We'll see if he can figure out how to... I think I have to be somewhat in agreement for him to go by WebEx, and I'm not going to agree. I think that he's more than perfectly capable to come to court.
More products I've been offered to receive coming up. New gadgets that I bought for my own self that I'm very excited about. I want to share with you that maybe you could use to help you with certain things that everybody owns, like a phone, for additional power. So a lot of stuff is coming up that I will be sharing with you guys in the next few days, in the coming days, years. But I want to talk.
Well, if everyone knows, well, if you could tell also, one, I was up late putting my paperwork together. Two, I obviously work a prison job. Three, I was up early at the courts. Four, I fought the nightmare of StreamYard and lost. So, yeah, after this gets all done, then we'll get the chill pill. And I get to have a cocktail.
Talk to you today about the lie about health and doctors. That's right. Do you know that a lot of the health issues that we have are being managed when they can be cured, but they don't want to cure? They only want to manage, because every cured patient is a lost customer to a doctor. Yeah. If they were to prescribe a cure to you, they couldn't prescribe prescriptions. Billions and billions of dollars.
I guess Tim has never looked at a way that doctors work a plan of care. Most doctors actually try to recommend for lifestyle changes. And a lot of times for a lot of the procedures that you want to get done, I've explained this extensively about my varicose vein, that I had not fallen into literally well, she did everything and she still has this issue pile. I probably couldn't have had it fixed, because they would have wanted me to correct my blood pressure, my weight, using compression stockings. There are all these caveats that needed to be accomplished. And I think that the patient, and this is what we get, and we have to educate a lot of people about not wanting to take antibiotics for a flu. So there's also, yes, we have to kind of take time to educate patients, because a lot of times, Tim, the problem isn't that we're the ones prescribing. It's often that the patients are requesting it. So there is a balance between the two there as well. And also, Tim, you're not the person educated, nor licensed, nor credentialed to be talking about this topic. And you've been requested in a cease and desist to stop doing it. But you get all feisty and you think you're showing me one by coming out and talking about it because you thought you were going to bamboozle the judge today. Because AI told you so. Tell you, AI is going to have you lose the court case, Tim.
Every year that everyone on the line in the medical field makes, from the pill maker, the drug maker, the drug pusher, the drug seller, the doctor, all of them, even probably politicians and stuff. There's so much money being made in managing healthcare. I forgot the numbers. I Googled it on AI. The billions of dollars and growing on statins, on blood pressure pills, on pills to combat type 2 diabetes, not type 1. There are diseases, obviously, that are incurable that we do need drugs for.
Right. Just here we need to be talking about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. This uneducated person who tried to bamboozle a judge in Virginia Beach this morning. No, I don't think so, Tim. And the fact that you don't even say this is information, education purposes, and I have zero licensure, one cured patient is a lost customer. Tim, do you know how many diseases are just related to aging? No, you don't. You just, oh my gosh. And I promise you, I am a massive proponent of a healthy lifestyle. I am 57 years old this year. Fortunately, I am on no medications except for having to take vitamin D, because most of us work a lot inside. We don't, and I've talked about this often, we don't synthesize vitamin D the same as we get older. So we do often have to have with supplementation. That's not a human failing. That's actually just something that we've learned with science over time. And because we know that, we now know we should prescribe and have somebody supplement with that. It's going to keep your immune system up, going to help your bone health, has lots of benefits. There's no shame in it, okay? We need to stop shaming people. Tim is being absolutely ableist out here, and I hate it. His whole rhetoric, his whole talking about diabetes type 1 and 2. Please, sir, do you know the complexity of that disease? No, you don't, because the Dunning-Kruger effect totally lives with Tim. The least amount of information you know, the more expertise you have in it. And the more you know, the less expertise you think. And Tim is at the top of that Dunning-Kruger pile.
And a certain
big heap
way
of
that
it.
you treat that. There's no question. But there are so
Tim
many
had no
things
coffee
that
donations in
simply
April.
losing
Tim, did you
weight,
see how many?
changing your diet,
Oh, I got
and
donations
exercise
today.
can reverse so many diseases. Cholesterol,
I haven't even
blood
looked.
pressure,
Thank you,
GERD,
guys.
type 2 diabetes, just to name a few. And all of these can be like, if you're, let's say, 200
Right.
pounds and you have been diagnosed with any of those diseases.
Oh, goodness, Tim. Dr. Classy Badassy, the reason why statin are dispensed is because so many people have high cholesterol, and it helps them minimize a cardiac event until health interventions are implemented. Absolutely. And a lot of times these medications are prescribed following a cardiac arrest. They're kind of part of like a medication profile when we have these patients come in with sudden cardiac arrest and having to have stents or bypasses, especially with a stent that suddenly gets in. You get them on the aspirins, they'll get them on 81 of the aspirin. They'll have torvastatin often, maybe the higher dose of the atorvastatin, the statin medications. They'll probably put them on some type of blood pressure. There's usually, what else do they put them on? There's a couple other drugs. But there's usually like a profile. You see like the same little profile that would come up. And then once things get corrected, it could be that the patients start to come off those drugs once they start to improve on things. But, you know, they have to start exercising, and it's a lot of dietary education. Absolutely. And it's a shame that people don't feel, you know, that they can have these discussions with their healthcare provider. It is important. And, you know, Tim isn't the person to be trying to set up barriers between somebody and their access to healthcare, because Tim is not somebody knowledgeable around healthcare.
A 15 loss could and should reverse a lot of that.
Late to the party.
Blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular, and change of diet. So obviously to lose that kind of weight, you would have to cut out rice, carbs, sugar, bread, and those kinds of things, which we know
Other
are
cholesterol
detrimental to our
meds
health.
one can take.
But no gym is even required. Simply walking
There
30 to
are
45
other
minutes a day.
cholesterol
And eschewing
medications. I wonder if with the arthritis and muscle issues, I'm wondering if you take like a PK19 inhibitor. There's another one that there are other ones that they do take that can lower cholesterol, that they often take in conjunction with statin medications. There was one, oh gosh, maybe Dr. Classy Badassy can remember the name. There's one that, oh my goodness, that you can take. I want to say it was, there was a lot of trials around it recently. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I wish I was back in my, I went into psychiatry. So all my basic stuff, oh gosh, what's the drug? There is another drug though. It's a PK19 inhibitor, I want to say. That's where it works in the body. And it works differently than the statin medications. So there are other medications that you can take that aren't the same family as statin medications. So there are other choices that can help you lower cholesterol. So yeah, there are other ones. So it's always worth saying to your doctor, hey, I have issues around arthritis and muscle issues. Would rather stay away from statins because I have concerns. They do have other drugs that can help lower cholesterol. A lot of times if somebody has really bad, gosh, I want to remember the name. I know it's right in front of me in all of my papers. I got so many papers and stuff, and I wrote a ton of papers on this a few years ago. And of course, now the medication slipped my brain today. Because when I used to see people with really high cholesterol, I was always hoping I would see the two together. Zedia, thank you. Thank you, Mary Carl. Thank you. Zedia, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Zedia, thank you. Yes, thank you. It's the PK19 inhibitor, correct? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So there are other medications if you do have those concerns, Zetia being one of them, that works on a totally different mechanism of action in order to help keep cholesterol maintained. A lot of times, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mary Cole. That was awesome. Yeah. I wish I had my little round of applause. So, yes. Thank you. Oh, you knew where I was trying to get. Goodness me. I'm glad you gave me that because I was too scared to move anything with this stream today on my computer. Yeah, hit the likes for Mary Carl on that one. So, yes, there are other medications. You do not want to have high cholesterol. That can be very problematic because those cholesterol plaques can lead to other issues. Obviously, if you've tried everything as far as exercise, diet, and you are still having, because some people do have higher levels of cholesterol because it's a familial issue. Very rare, though. Okay, that high familial hypercholesteremia is quite rare. It does happen, but that can happen too. Some people can have pathological heart disease. Tim is, I obviously work in pediatric healthcare. Tim has just no idea. He's just, he's watching RFK Jr. get shirtless and do some push-ups, and Tim is like out there drinking the tea. Keep going, Tim.
Those terrible carbohydrates that are poisoning us, that we're literally addicted to as well. I know it's hard to break it. Will simply reverse a lot of your illnesses that they want to sell you these prescription drugs for the rest of your life.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
So you're taking them. You may not even extend your life period because you're washing away whatever effects they do for you by continuing to eat.
Oh, you did?
The carbs and things. So it's a never-ending circle. But people drink the Kool-Aid. They go.
Tim, you drank the Kool-Aid. You've drunk so much Kool-Aid, sir, you don't even know when you've been ordered by a court what to do. You were probably spitting out today. We're going to be getting praise be to Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. Tim went back off like talking about, Jesus and the devil. It's going to get real here, hot and heated, guys. Things got real for Tim today. Tim could not blag and blah his way out of something for once in his life. Tim is going to have to face the accountability of all of his shenanigans on YouTube.
They gobble down when they go to a doctor. I'm here because I don't know anything. Like me, I don't know how to build a doghouse. And someone tells me something, I have to kind of take their word for it. But I have since learned that not everybody gives you the truth. You've got to do your due diligence. You've got to study on your own. And today, we're only now learning through science and new research that a lot of things that we've been taught are phony baloney. They don't hold water. They're no longer factual. That you can, in fact, reverse a lot of these diseases. But our diet in America is so terrible, and the foods that...
Now, Tim, I'm going to preface a lot of this. There are a lot of diseases that are lifestyle, brought about by lifestyle. And obviously, if you're having them at a younger age, I know that if you continue them throughout your life, obviously it's going to impact your health as you get older. There are things, yes, that can be preventative. There are other things that are not preventative. Would it be best if we all were able to not have... There's people that have been some of the healthiest people that you know and will have cancer and young. So it's just, you cannot be such an ableist, Tim. This is so demonizing. It's so demonizing to make people that already feel fragile about their health, have them feel that they are fully culpable for everything. Yes, does exercise, not eating just, fast fat. The diet you eat, Tim, is definitely not the one that any doctor would recommend for longevity or health. Especially your diet, sir, is terrible. Oh my gosh. And just to think that people who work in healthcare don't care about people's health. There's a really good emergency room physician from the UK, Dr. Alex. I think I showed him once on one of my members only. If you do want good, solid information based on studies and presented in a really interesting way, tackling a lot of these things that Tim's talking about, I recommend listening to this doctor. because he says that he sees a lot of people coming into the emergency room with these diseases of lifestyle. And we talk about them a lot in healthcare, very much. And so we are aware and trying to educate people to do the best in order to not have them. But that's not every disease, Tim. Had you maybe thought about having worn sunglasses or seeing an ophthalmologist earlier, maybe you wouldn't have to complain to the judge that you're losing your eyesight.
They've made that we literally have addictive ingredients in them that it's a cause and effect. And the medical industry loves it because we're sitting there eating the things that we're addicted to, causing the health issues, giving them the doctor's authority or
and the inflammation can be coming from a number of sources. And that could be because, also if the person has type 2 diabetes, that would lead to more of an inflammatory reaction in the body. And therefore, that's going to lead those individuals to have more of that sticking of the plaque within the arteries, leading to a greater chance of that person having a heart attack, a stroke, or potentially a pulmonary embolism, which could be fatal. So I do always want to have people, eating a good balanced diet, with lean proteins, lots of fruits and vegetables, the Mediterranean diet. Oh, and if you ever check out Dr. Alex, I say the same thing, and most healthcare professionals, it's really boring consistency that is going to give you the best outcomes of health. And then having certain things like if you have been able to manage your blood pressure without having to rely on medications, and a lot of it could be potentially stress, then your likelihood of having, heart disease or problems with your heart obviously decreases as you age. So, but these are conversations that are interesting for you to talk about, Tim, but you shouldn't be demonizing a class of professionals, and you shouldn't certainly be demonizing the people they care for, because that's what you do.
Doctor's prescriptions, them making things that half of them don't even work and cause more problems than what they cure. As you can see, you see where I'm going with this? Just wake up. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's also a part that gives you a real high strength to avoid those certain foods. Once you realize how detrimental they are, not just fat gain and weight gain, I should say, that they're literally killing you and keeping you on the meds that you're spending your Social Security money on or your hard-earned cash on, even if you're not retired yet and you're carrying all this overweight business, stop it. And you're one of these people that believe that.
Well, maybe, Tim, you shouldn't be looking like he tie one on. I mean, this is Tim's and you'll hear it right at the end. This is kind of an FU to me. And anybody who's a medical professional, probably. But, especially because he really thinks that he's so much better.
You're going to,
and I'm just here to call these dangerous people
so you can live high off the hog and have more money.
If you still find any others,
that you're not going to have possibly because you're killing yourself now at a younger age eating the crap. I mean, don't you just see it? It's futile. The only real thing you can do.
Oh yeah, he does. I don't know if it's this video or another. He does mention that he has to have a sleep aid. Oh yeah, you got to get those hypnotics. Hey, Tim, you got to get those controlled narcotics. If I'm going to get a prescription, it's going to be the good stuff. Oh, okay, Tim. If I'm going to get something for a cough, it's going to be laced with codeine. Okay, Tim, we get it.
Is get the truth. Truth will make you free. What is the truth? The truth is healthy foods are healthy. Terrible foods are terrible. Drugs help, but they usually don't. For most cases on things that are reversible. They're just a big thing. That
on things that are reversible, let me shame people about their health. Let me just shame people. That's a conversation for a doctor to have with their patient. Things about deprescribing because the medication could be a greater fall risk, like weighing it out like a risk benefit with an elderly patient, because you know that potentially dropping their blood pressure too low could leave them to have a fall, and the fall could be more impactful than, what's happening with this one blood pressure medication. That absolutely is a conversation to have. I promise you, Tim, on the days when I need to go to work, that ton of arthritis, I know I need to get the other stuff, but just for the all around, because I have to be moving so much with a 2-year-old, it's perfect. On days when I'm not at work, I don't tend to take it. Still say Tylenol is one of the best analgesics you get. Tim, you just are so wild. The second you feel like you get a creepy call for something, you're straight over to your doctors.
A lot of profit on conditioned our society and the world into believing for decades now. And to fight that and combat against it, they want to squash every voice that ever comes against them.
David, you and I were thinking about the same thing at the same time. As you were typing that, I said, and you made a call for a creepy cough one day. I mean, just blowing the doctor up over a cough because he wants to get that codeine-laced cough syrup. That's why. Oh, they'll hand that stuff out like candy to the older people.
Why wouldn't they? It's just like the politics. Every feather in the hat that Trump gets by doing something good, the opposite team wants to distract and deny it and say something negative about it. Because if people see things work based on what person is in power, the voters pay attention, and that can cause them.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I've never, unless he has a very specific medical reason, like seizures, I don't know. Or there are some certain diverticulitis or some gastric things where that may be possible. But if it was it's never going to come from a cardiac doctor. They'll be like, who told him to do that? Because that's what one said about one patient. Because I told one of them, I was like, hey, your patient's on a carnivore diet, like right after they had a heart attack. The doctor's like, who told him to do that? He said he read something online. The doctor's like, ugh. Promise you, they're not that impressed. It's just sometimes it's a fight a doctor doesn't care to have.
To continue to vote that way, then the other side will never have a chance. But don't fool yourself. Let me follow up by saying this. If the other team was in power, you can bet for sure, because that's what they did when Biden was in office.
Oh, God.
That they'll block every single thing and come against every single thing he does.
Really, Tim? The other week you were complaining. Now you're back on it because your gas price dropped down or something? Get the Iran out.
Because it's jealousy. It's envy for power and greed and money. Just like it is with anything else on social media. They see someone succeeding, someone's giving the honest truth, someone is succeeding because they own original content, and they want to.
This is my original content. This is my honest truth. Is that what you don't like, Tim? You hate? Because you seem to hate it a lot. I'm sure you're going to hate it even more today.
Use them to get their own clicks, to get their own, by cheating, by lying, by being jealous of what is working. I'm
cheating, I'm jealous, and I'm lying, guys. Because I try to be a public health advocate. Part of being a nurse, especially one that's done nurse education, is educating the public around topics around health. Whoa! Really? That's what your licensure allows you to do? Yes. You mean that that doesn't mean you're a ratcheted old nurse? No, it doesn't mean you're a ratcheted old nurse. It means you're actually doing what your licensure says to do. And as long as you so intend on putting out the worst medical information and then popping the thing about the jealousy at the end, no, I just do what I am an expert in, and that's calling out medical misinformation. Because people need to understand that people like yourself, Tim, aren't educated to do it. And we have to, keep reminding, because some people may not be aware. And you shouldn't be taught. I mean, this is not, Tim being a troll. He thought he was getting one up before court, you see.
Acknowledge it. People that made a mistake of not collecting Social Security at 62 and being in denial, because do you know that if you collected at 62 and you wait till you're 67, we already know the math, right? You get $750 roughly more. I'm going to make another video. I'm going to save those points for another video because it's a good one. That's a good one that deserves repeating over and over and over because.
Great. Over and over. We get to hear Tim talk about just this nonsense, in my opinion.
What do? They say the same thing over and over and over.
Oh, because, people who go to school for, 12 plus years, probably for their specialty, between medical school, then specialty and residencies and all of these, that they just gurgitate off of some stuff that they heard from AI, Tim? Is that what you think is happening? Okay, keep going.
With every new thing that comes out. Well, guess what? Two can play at that game. and the truth will make you free. Crush it.
Yep. Truth will make you free, won't it, Tim? Because to play at that game, and the two can play at that game is when Tim decided that he was going to ask for like a protective order from the court. I guess probably he'd already sent it, so he's probably all feeling full of himself at this point. A protective order because he should be out here just talking this way. And I'm the hateful person who charges $3.99 to see his legal letters. So yeah, let's him put a video out, and then if not, we'll just say hey, and I'll just say thank you guys so much for the awesome support today. And yeah, getting the bill of particulars ready and everything. Let's see what Tim's got out for us, guys. No, oh, now we did. He's put nothing out, guys, even a short. No. Why, Tim? What's going on? You were just blasting them out. Let me look at this. We were getting like 15 a day. Oh, this retired with grandchildren was terrible. This one was terrible. But this is the one I think I looked at this with the members, but I think this will be a fun one to finish it out because this is a man who wanted to claim to the judge today. Hold on, Tim.
The moment of
hey. He wanted to he is wanting a sugar mama. Tim is telling the judge that he is very weak. He can't travel. I know, no Timmy video. I'm gonna cry too. What will I do? Where will I find content from? My goodness. I mean, there isn't a whole plethora of people lying about health stuff out there, or some other things that I'm sure as a community we could find as interesting as you, Tim. You hope the judge saws the videos? Well, I think they should be part of the evidence, because this was Tim. Yes. Oh, he's got the neighbors out, guys. Take it away, Timmy.
It's up there. How did we get it up there? I'm going to show you. I'm still not doing it by myself, but that's coming. I'm going to have my neighbor video me. Let me not go down with it. I got no problem bringing it down. But look how easy it is with my 4.5-inch lift.
Oh, this must be that poor 67-year-old blind, partially deaf senior on Social Security, just, suffering and like having such a tough time. And this is going to be such a financial hardship for him to have to travel to Virginia.
And using about of the road here.
Oh, it's that neighbor.
It's really.
I saw the neighbor, the one that we saw peeking around the house one time. Always trying to figure out what Timmy up to. He's been what's the best word? Accosted into. Does Tim pay anything to these people for filming?
The difference. So I'm gonna have my neighbor help me out here. Hope you enjoy the video.
T-bucket gone.
All right, here we go, folks. Nothing happens when you don't video. It's only when you start videoing is when things happen. First, I'm putting it in.
Well, he didn't tell him he was a famous YouTuber. He just told him he was a YouTuber. But then he told me he's on Social Security. I think the judge thought Timmy was trying to give him the run. I think just Tim was coming out with everything. Then he wanted a protective order. Then he wanted to complain about this, that, and the other. And he just wanted to tell the judge about everything. And the judge wasn't having it. Judge didn't care.
That's an additional brake. Plus my front brake.
There he is. Come on, Timmy, you got bad eyesight and you can't hear. That's what you told the judge. I think Rebecca hit the nail on the. I might join him. Not at the Moose Lodge, but I might go grab myself a cocktail in a minute, a happy hour, because that's about to get started. Rebecca says, let me see. Oh, Rebecca, your comment was so funny. It's the afternoon drinking at the Moose Lodge. Well, he's got that $60 membership, guys. I mean, he had to look at his Moose Lodge calendar when the judge was pushing him for a date. The elk have sex 10 to 15. Oh my gosh, Madeline, I'm gonna have to keep that one off. Oh no, it got approved. You guys are gonna get me banned. Tim said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tim's been terrible lately. Tim has been terrible with like gawking at women and filming young women. And see, and the thing is, like, Tim, I put on a dress today. Do you remember Tim says he likes a lady in a dress? I put on a dress today just for cool. And a little bit of makeup on. Tim, you see? Look at that. I dressed up. He can't get erect. Oh my gosh. And I can't even play drop because StreamYard is having a meltdown today. I don't know how I'm going to have to deal. I'll deal with that later.
Ooh, I could tell it was pulling the ramp away from my tailgate.
No,
I didn't have it strapped. I just the ramp itself was coming away. This lip I have on here, but I've got a good lip over it, so it didn't come off. That would have been ugly. So here's what I got. Come in close and I'll show you. I'm going to nail these down. I've just got 3 2x8s stacked on top of one, then one. And I've got a little.
Why are you nailing them down? I mean, aren't they? I don't know. This looks like a hernia in the happening. I was be like, what the hernia going on here? Last night, but I had to share with the public because this is wild.
Now I'm hitting my generator.
Like, no, this is like what he told the Tim. Look.
My center? Yep.
I'm old and feeble. I'm poor, I'm old, I'm feeble.
Going down with gravity.
He's kind of slow.
All right. Put it neutral. Neutral.
God, that one neighbor behind him trying to stop, and Tim just like, my narcissism's everywhere. Gosh, his narcissism was on full display with the judge today. My Lord. Judge was just like, don't worry, I got this. I got this. Don't worry. Because he could see me just like, probably just like, here comes Tim.
All right, we're going to go up, Jay. I go over to somebody and say, hey, excuse me. Would you mind almost breaking a leg and help me out?
Yes. Yeah,
Ready?
definitely CC.
Let's go.
Bitsville Factory. Look, there goes the poor neighbor.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake, says the other guy.
Too much? Yep.
Oh my gosh. Everyone has to get into it's Timmy's world, and the rest of us just, you know, go around.
Now I'm hitting my generator.
Oh, I know.
My center? Yep. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be his use of the faith in order to hide anything that he does bad is remarkable. And it's gonna get out there. I can't wait to see I cannot wait to see what the next video we're gonna get. Because his world got rocked today, guys. I think he really thought, because the way he was kind of upticking on his videos, I think Timmy thought he got in the clear. Especially with that non-suit last week, I think he thought he was in the clear. And when he probably thought he heard that judge call today, Timmy probably thought, Jesus answered my prayers. He didn't realize that Jesus was answering mine, Tim.
320 pounds is more like 500 pounds going down with gravity.
Traveling, right? Exactly. I know. That's what's the sport, Golden Inspired Living. Meanwhile, they said, his entire channel is about traveling. And that's the one excuse he gives the judge, that he can't travel. What a hypocrite. Exactly. Well, Dennis, it was good to see you. Oh, yeah. The dirt bike, we're going to have to put out a poll as to when is that going to go through the dirt window. Yeah, thanks for making your drive not so boring. Well, I'm so glad, Tar Heels. I promise you. I wanted to strangle StreamYard today. That's the reason why, but hey, it was meant to be.
I've got the wheel.
So if I cussed earlier, I apologize. I probably got 5 streams out.
I can actually leave my generator back here now and put it through here.
I'm going to have to delete the other streams. I was like, oh gosh, I couldn't believe it.
Crush it.
Oh yeah. There's Timmy. Crush it. Well, you definitely crushed it with the judge today, Tim. Tim definitely crushed it with the judge today. He did a great job, guys. All right. I better not use up too much of his content. He's going to be upset that I'm using his original content. He's going to be very upset. But I felt that was fair use and commentary because as a registered nurse, I don't know if that's safe. That's a safe thing to do. I feel that what Tim just did is a good recipe to getting some type of hernia in the future. And didn't he complain that I thought he had like a torn rotator cuff and stuff. How is he like up there, rolling up there with a bike and this, that, and the other, and doing all this stuff? All right, guys, it's going to be exciting. So I guess, so we're at a place where the trolls, I guess, are going to have to keep trolling because we're going to trial. And I guess they thought I was just going to get dismissed and be crying today. Because Timmy was going to be great and victorious. And if you had gotten into my members only last night, you would have heard that I said that probably going to get a continuance on this because I want to have some things happen. And so instead of it actually being a continuance per se, we got set for an actual trial date, which means that the judge is like, nope, we got to bring in all the stuff. And now we go to trial. That's it. All the filifiling has been done. So we'll see the shenanigans. But Tim is, I'm not going to give him any legal advice. That's up to him. I'm curious to see what his next video is, though, guys. I am going to do a react. I'm hoping I can figure out whatever going on with StreamYard because I would love to do a react to the Zachary Michael react just for fun. And obviously, I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do at least a members only schedule. I'm kind of enjoying the Friday, so I might stick with that. It's been kind of fun doing or Thursdays. I think it's been Thursdays. Gosh, today's Friday. Thursdays doing those. That's been a lot of fun. So that's something that I'm looking at and getting more of a schedule together now that some of this. Is coming to an end. I'm just not as paperwork heavy as I had been because I'm pretty much prepared for my case on August 29th. Obviously, there's potentially some extra things that could be added. But on the whole, I'm pretty prepared. So I'm kind of ready to go to trial. I was ready to go next month. And not next month, but I was ready to go in June. Like, let's just get her done. Let's just get it done. But the judge is, but Tim's going to have to get his grounds of defense in, and I guess I'll have an opportunity to look at whatever that is to come and, have any thing that I want to, highlight when we get into the court. So I'll have time to look at that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to share that, guys. That's something I will not be able to share because I'm going to have to keep that for the courts and be respectful. No need for a refund from the Moose Lodge. He can go in Georgia. Who nailed it from him? I don't know. Yeah. Do reaction to Zachary Michaels. Oh, yeah, we will. We'll definitely do it. Yeah, for fun. We'll definitely do one for fun. And I just appreciate everybody and just all your generosity today and getting Tim even more irritated because he's very upset I have a monetized channel. There's a lot of people upset I have a monetized channel. YouTube's not upset we have a monetized channel. And obviously I appreciate it because it helps me show to the judge that, my YouTube channel's a business, for whatever, for better or worse. But only Timmy allowed to have a YouTube business with his original content of which he regurgitates half the shite he listens to on the internet. So Tim doesn't have an original thought in his head. Even his AI Jesus talk was coming from somewhere. Anyway, I am curious to know. You know what? Quick poll before we leave. Quick poll. All right. Last thing. Will Tim go release a video today? Do you think Tim will release a video today? Do you think he's going to do it? Is he going to do it? His jam might have been ended. All right. It's just a yes, no answer. And we'll finish it out. Just that's my poll question. And if you're here and you want to participate, we'll give it just a couple of minutes. I'm going to grab I don't want to just sip on the camera, show something interesting. And then Tim's been doing some stuff. We won't watch the whole react. I'll just give it a couple of minutes. Brought his wood. Best part of my life. Oh, the retired with grandchildren.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Coming to you from the beach over here at Coquina. And I want to leave you first thing this morning with a tip. And remember this, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. How you like that one, huh? Here's one more for you. I'll give you a couple of these every time I come on. The best time to plant a tree, go. The second best time.
I wonder if he's feeling this today. I think I'm a little happier than Tim today. We didn't get dismissed, guys. We didn't get it tossed out for being frivolous. We got a trial date. And probably Tim moaning and complaining about his YouTube channel probably gave further weight to my warrant.
So I'm sure you get the meaning on that. Get out and live your life, folks. Enjoy yourself. Do what you've got. Work with what you've got. If you don't like where you're at, change it. There's the beautiful Gulf of America in that turquoise green color.
Find the hater channels.
And I've walked all the way down.
Patty. He makes the same video every day, but we steal his content. Tim is unaware of the commentary community. It just kills him. He hates us.
These new buildings that match the color of the water. That's special. So what are you doing with your life?
It's selling seashells by the
Get out and crush it, man. Get out and live.
No, he did nothing to help his case.
Now, I've talked to a lot of people recently, my age, and
in fact,
they have grandchildren.
I think he made his case worse. Actually, I think his case was made worse.
A grandson. Just one. But I met so many people that have like, somebody told me the other day they have 11 grandchildren. Oh, it's one of my subscribers. That's right. How many people talk about their grandkids this week? And let me tell you what happens. Just when you retire, but this is what they want to do. It's all about them. People that have grandchildren.
He was trying to bully the judge too. This is what bullies do.
Absolutely revolve their lives around. They go into this second parenthood thing where they don't necessarily raise them. They help with them, and watch them and take care of them. But they spend time with them.
Yeah,
and
grandchild.
I don't know.
Hazy car.
The nurturing that they have, and kind of going back in time when their kids were young. But grandchildren are absolutely very special. So special that
so special that I don't spend a dime on mine and do nothing. I can't. This is Tim. This is complaining that he doesn't understand why other people are prioritizing grandkids in his age group and not just out playing with Tim.
One state, move kids are, or don't leave a state. And for example, I come to because except for visits and vacations, they'll stay around their grandchildren. Now me, my grandson, he's not small, and he's got his own life. He has a girlfriend, goes to college, he travels around the country. He's in the music business with the sport, the football games and stuff. He's into all that, and so he's very busy. I totally get how grandparents absolutely.
It's because it's. What are those people shouting? I need to hear this. Hold on. These people come past, shout something at Tim.
I totally get it. Grandparents absolutely want everything to do.
Somebody shouted something at Tim.
What your grandchildren do. Let me sit here on my tailgate. I'm here at my truck now. They're pretty quickly.
Your grandma, your mom likes their grandchildren way more than the children. Nothing. Yeah, that's the way it goes, TJ.
Let's get in here and so, for my entertainment, what I'm going to be doing is just basically traveling, and that's going to hopefully
have to take a call. Oh yeah, he does that all the time.
You put that top down.
Oh,
convertible. Beautiful.
Oh God, Tim trying to hit on this girl while he's talking about his grandkids. Dirty grandpa.
Day for a convertible. I'm gonna go home and get on my dual sport. Look at that. That's living there. So anyway, this is the market area down here where they have a market in Coquina.
Yeah.
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
A restraining order.
And these golf carts, they're just everywhere. Everybody's got these like 3-seater golf carts.
Are you all playing blackjack?
Or something, but they're everywhere.
And stop to play some blackjack? Oh, that sounds fun.
Enjoy your day. Beautiful little red Volkswagen Bug. Convertible there.
Oh, for goodness sake, Tim. See, you're hijacking that woman's car now. See, your content not original. You just doxed that woman. Okay. You complained about being doxed. Oh, that was the other thing he complained about. People, don't send him any hateful emails. He says he's been, ever since I mentioned his letter, he's been upset. He got some emails. Do not threaten Tim. We just have fun here. I certainly do not want anyone to go over to Tim and give him anything and say anything. Because he doesn't want to get harassed.
Cars are coming and going. They're all looking over at me like they've never seen a selfie stick before. So I'm going to actually go down to the Moose and maybe, or go home and get on my dirt bike and bring it back over here and go to the Moose and have some lunch.
I know.
It's just now 11:15, just opened. But earlier when I was talking,
I promise you that retired with grandchildren was just a rage bait title for this community.
About being retired and at this age, and a lot of things people my age don't do because they're so committed to being with their grandchildren, they can't even be gone for very long. They take vacations. I get that. They go and do their own thing. But to be a full-time RVer and travel around the country and leave, the grandchildren, no, not going to happen. So, and it probably wouldn't have been my life either had it worked out with what I was doing prior to the season I'm in now. And I don't know, it's just when I do see things like that going on, different people talking about it, I should say, and I go, yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you, Tim? Or is that a moment where you reflected that you're a shitty grandparent?
Relative to somebody, if you're known them since they were born and you're close to them, and you're of someone else.
Oh, he's trying to say that he was the substitute grandfather, I guess, for Dwayne, to Dwayne's grandchildren.
It wasn't there, and your shoes are removed. That's terrible. It really is. But what are you going to do? It's hard to talk about for me because it's a sad thing. It really is. And, after the grandchildren are grown and they get to be more than
look, Tammy is better off not being anywhere near you, Tim.
Saying goes, they get to, like my grandson, with their dating and driving and busy and doing their own thing, then, it kind of changes. But when they're at that young age and, they look forward to seeing you and you light up their life when they see you, you play with them and you enjoy them. That is so addictive.
Tim, you got so upset because one of those kids messed with your truck or did something and you got all angry, and I think the family saw it and probably didn't want you near them. I wouldn't want your angry self there either. And you've had to try to hold it for the judge today because I know you wanted to lose your temper.
And so rewarded. I totally get it. So there's only a few years that you have to wait before you become out of the grandparent prison, and they get to be big enough to where you're not wanting to see them 3 days a week because they don't want to see you. They got their own life. Like I said, they their girlfriends, their cars.
I know. I am somebody obviously who works in pediatrics. I've taken care of kids my whole life. I love kids. There's nothing that I find one of the pleasures of my job is being able to go outside with my little patient and let her sit in the sandbox and we get the bubbles going and stuff. And we get to go stroll out in the neighborhood and stuff. I have the best time. My prison job is fun, Tim.
Their friends and their own thing. That doesn't mean you stop seeing them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that when they're really young. And that's why grandparents love their grandchildren, is it takes them back to when their kids were young. It gives them another, like a do-over. And they have more money now usually. And it can really spoil them and do things with them. So if you're a grandparent, you got 11 of them.
Yeah, he misses being in that big house in Delray. Acting like when probably the family were out of town, like he was like the king of Delray and stuff. And Tim, I don't know if Tammy wants, I don't think they want you around those grandkids, Tim.
And they're all ages. I mean, they're really rocking your world. You've definitely got it going on. If you got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, that's nice too. If you got 1, that's cool as well. But definitely live your life, support your grandchildren, support everybody. Be all you can be.
Support everyone. This is the man who got upset with that $40 pay it forward. Did he think he ever would give $40 to the poor McDonald's lady who had to get out of work while her husband had an infection? No, because you don't get to write off tips in your taxes. Tim is the cheapest SOB, except when it comes to spending money on Tim. Then he's the most generous, but even then he's cheap on himself unless it comes to a truck or a toy or something or clothes. This man has spent more money on clothes than I can shake a stick at. Hey, Tim, come into court. You get to get a whole little court outfit going again. You get your pastor clothes out. Get yourself a suit.
Ooh, minivans are pretty neat. Here comes an RV, and you're just.
Hey, I'll get an outfit for my birthday.
Hey, Coquina, this is a really special place. This guy here wants to get by, but I've got my tailgate out. I'm in my cement.
Every prop.
Need to barely get by.
Absolutely, everyone's a prop. Everyone's a prop. Junebug's over there snoring, man. I can't wait to relax a little bit with his dogs this weekend. I'm going to give myself tomorrow off a little bit because, well, I'm going to stream. Don't get me wrong. Gosh, I mean, that's why I've been gone so much. I've missed you guys. I promise you.
Some nomads. Yeah, they got a New York tag. Down here in park, sit all day. They get their house with them.
But you were on your way to Florida to get them as soon as you could. Good for you. Love them.
But a lot of people try to go on.
I love hanging out with
on the cheap somehow and not have to pay for a campground every day. You know, I was looking the other day. It's very expensive. Market further down. All the way at the end. Can't miss.
I get to do so much fun stuff. I get to do the little baths and the naps and all sorts of stuff. I've got the little girl, you know, singing all sorts of songs and doing the alphabet and counting and all sorts of stuff. Had one of the workers the other day that works with the granddad. He's got a big piece of land over there, telling me that how much the grandfather had told them that I had done such a wonderful job with this little girl, that she really had come along since I had been her RN, and just they had really, you know, just how wonderful she does. I've been almost with the little girl for almost 2 years now. I mean, she's like family. They're like family.
Some people, yeah, it's like $70, $80 or even more.
Right,
at a lot of these full hookups with 30 and 50 amp.
Yeah.
Between that,
I live with my grandma too. Absolutely. I was very close to my grandmother. It was very hard for me to lose my grandma when she passed away in 2010. I was actually training. I was in my nursing school at the time, and it was hard. It was very hard. She was 91, but it never makes it easy. I was very close. I'm very much a grandma's girl, and very close to my grandmother.
Fuel costs and everything else. It really has changed from what it was 20 years ago, of course. You used to get $10, $20 a night. Gas was $1.50, $2. So, but it's all right. You adapt. I got some more good sayings for you. I'll talk about in the next video. I forgot them already. Remember, whether you think you can.
I don't think he talked about any. What did he talk about? Retired with grandchildren? He basically complained that other people who are retired with grandchildren are centering Tim. That's what he complained about. He excused that his grandson now is too old and doesn't really need a grandpa around. Okay, Tim. And does his own thing. Did you use any of that YouTube money to help with anything with your grandson? Probably not. But you're so poor, aren't you, Tim?
For whether you think you can't, you're right. You are right on both ones. All right, folks, I'm going to end this one. Put this one up for you. Go get on my dirt bike and just continue to enjoy life here in the Sarasota, Bradenton area. Crush it.
Yep. And tell the judge that elderly and weak to travel. All right, guys, that was for the poll. Well, I've almost had you. Okay. Wow. We're almost down the middle on this one. That was interesting. I kind of like this one. 80 votes. Thank you, guys. Will Tim release a video today? I'm going to end the poll now. We have 49% say yes and 51% said no. So that was like, it was split down the middle. So that's it. That was kind of fascinating. Thank you guys for sharing with that one. And thank you guys for all the generosity of your time, your likes. I know people love when I do the love heart. Your likes, your kindness, your support, your generosity, everything through all of this. I am so grateful to this community, for all of you for supporting me and the mission of trying to just stop so much medical misinformation getting out and getting conversations around health. And often, actually, Zcar, I hope you're still here listening, because that's something. Zcar worked in public health, and that I'm going to try to get my StreamYard working. It's very easy, Zcar. If you would be interested, I would love for us to maybe talk about a topic or something. Could be Tim related, health and Tim related. and have you as a guest on my live one day. And maybe we'll get Z-Car up, and maybe I can, get some other creators. Anybody with a health focus? Yes, you all. Well, perfect. Well, if you would love to, we'll get together, and we'll set up a stream with Z-Car and I, and we can go out and just kind of tackle some of Tim's medical misinformation. How about that? Maybe with a video. And it's very simple. Perfect. I just give a link and you just join me. There's no cost to you. And I think you can even stream it onto your channel. So I can send you it so that you can have it on your channel saved as well as my channel. So you can dual share it. And we can set that up. And we can have, that would be awesome. We get Z-Car because Tim would love that. That would be the time that Tim because then we don't regurgitate, you see, then we got our original content. And I have to say that Z-Car's breakfast, his eggs look so good. So jealous. I had to go get breakfast at Dunkin' Donuts this morning. I didn't even get past my usual Panera bread. And I didn't have time to cook. And I definitely wanted to make sure I had something in my stomach because I didn't know how long I'd be in the courthouse today. And I ended up having to get some Dunkin' Donuts. But they were so quick. My goodness. I mean, they had that. I saw they had that thing. They had that Dunkin' Donuts is running. That thing was operating like they really knew what they were doing. So we'll get something like that. You talked a lot about on your live that if anyone's, and we could definitely, get a chance to learn a little bit more about your background. It could be interesting. Just, maybe we could talk about a public health topic, and just have a good, maybe Tim brings up something and we can have a conversation and just have some fun. That would be a good time. I think a lot of people in the community would enjoy it, especially with your background in public health. I would love to have you on the panel. If you've ever looked at some of my past, I've had pharmacists in the past. I should try to get my pharmacist on if I can get her back. I've had obviously our friend Cheekbones, who's a registered dietitian. I know people are, and so I love those opportunities. That's why we're here, to make sure that we're, educating, having fun, and making sure we don't get scammed by people. So that would be awesome. So cringe. Yeah. Did you see the eggs with fruit? Oh, they look good. You're going to be blueberry picking next week at the farm. Oh, that sounds good. I know. Z-Car's kitchen is good. I love some eggs. So I am an egg person. So, and I don't cook great eggs. So when I see really well cooked eggs, I'm always happy to see that. Yeah, Dinger. We could find out a little bit more about him, Miss Vicky. I'd love to get Miss Vicky on. That would be great. We can get a whole host of us. Infectious disease and emergency preparedness. Well, that's exactly why I think that you would be great to have on Z-Car. Because Tim is luckily Tim, maybe you educated him about the flu shots, because Tim thankfully had the flu shot. He certainly loves to touch everything though. But we could definitely have a topic and talk around that, especially with Tim telling everybody to ignore their doctors, which you do not want to do, okay? Because then you're going to have a proliferation, believe it or not, of infectious diseases. Oh my goodness, like measles. Oh Lord. Okay. All right. I just appreciate everyone. Maybe you could help Tim with his his cuties. You guys are going to give me all sorts of trouble with YouTube today. All right, guys. I might not even see those comments. Some of your comments, that's why they may not show up, is that YouTube has a show or hide feature. And if I'm on StreamYard, I guess I don't see that. So that's why some of your comments may not show up in the chat. Just to let you know, YouTube has its own little thing going on. So I appreciate you guys being so. I wish I had all my great judge. See, that's the thing about StreamYard. You get your drops, and I can't give you guys a big round of applause, but I want to. And thank you, everybody. And we'll talk to you later. Bye. Yes, we're ending the stream.